I'm a big fan of JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, but there's one franchise that holds a large portion of my heart, and that franchise is Persona. That's why today we will be going for the Persona 3 DLC trophies. You're probably asking yourself why I don't go for the main game Platinum, and the reason for that is because I already had the Platinum for this game back in February when the remake initially came out. So before we get into the nitty and gritty of the trophy journey, I want to post a few warnings. The first warning is a spoiler warning since the DLC is kind of an aftermath of the main game. This video is obviously going to have spoilers not only for the DLC but for the main game as well. So if you're not okay with spoilers, then I implore you to go and play the game. You won't regret it. As for the second warning, I want to put up a content warning as during this video I won't only be going over the trophies, but talking about the game's story as well, and also talking about its themes, which are very heavy topics. So if you're not okay with talking about topics such as death, suicide, and grief, don't be afraid of clicking off. Don't worry, I will understand, and I'll see you next video. Now with that taken care of, let's jump right into the answer. The DLC has 8 trophies. They all stem from progressing through the story, and before making this video, I have never played the answer. I've only played Persona 3, like the main game, and even before the remake, I played the portable version of Persona 3, and this is one of my favorite games of all time, but I've never played the answer. But before I start discussing the story, I feel like it's very important to have seen the ending of the main game to completely understand what's going on in the DLC. So I'm going to play a little bit of the main game's ending so you get an idea of what happens.
In a moment, the others will be joining us. It'll be okay. I'm right by your side, here to protect you forevermore.
Now, I'm sure many of you who haven't played the answer, or in this case, episode Aigis, might be a bit confused of what just happened. Well, there's a lot more context to that clip that I can't really show without it being like 15 to 20 minutes of just showing the ending of the game. But I will cover the important bits as they become important to the story. Don't worry. The DLC opens with Aigis talking about how they brought some sort of ordeal upon themselves. It then cuts to Ken and Akihiko fighting Aigis and some other robot in a strange arena. Before the fight ends, it cuts to Aigis talking more about the future is never guaranteed, with scenes that we haven't seen before of the characters, before showing us one last time of Aigis and the main character at last moments during the main game. The scene then shifts to Fuka calling Yukari, who's best girl, fight me, to ask who she's going to come to some meetup. Yukari says she can't because of cramming, and we are shown a scene where most of the gang are giving back their Advokas to Mitsuru. After Aigis hands in hers, she tells the group that the next semester she won't be attending school, but will be staying in the lab. The group is obviously upset about this, but don't protest it as it's obviously her choice. Mitsuru orders some sushi, and the gang has one last dinner together at the dormitory. The TV, which is showing the news, says that midnight is about to happen, and at the ding it will be April 1st. But when the noise goes off, the announcer says it's still March 31st, which the group is initially confused about, but brushes off and goes to bed. Aigis is reminiscing of the final moments with her and the main character before Fuka rushes in to tell her that come quickly when the gang needs her. Rushing downstairs, Aigis sees the group is getting attacked by another robot. This is Metis, and if I'm honest, I don't really like Metis. I'll explain later, but now for her goal is to protect Aigis, and to do that, she's trying to kill the group. Pinning Ken against the wall, pause. She aims to kill him, but before she can, Aigis awakens to Orpheus, who, for those of you that don't know, was the main character's persona, which means that Aigis awakens to the wildcard ability. She then uses that to beat Metis before passing out. Aigis awakens in the Velvet Room with Igor, who explains the power of the wildcard and says something very curious. He says the main character found the meaning of life before passing away. So a little explanation. So after the ending of what I showed you earlier, the group brings the protagonist's body back to the dormitory, where after a few days, it kind of just ceases to be alive. It falls into a coma and just dies after a few days. After waking up, Aigis sees that the others, Yukari and Akihiko, are shown up, and after speaking with Metis for a moment, they found out that March 31st is repeating. And Metis shows the group the Abyss of Time, which is similar to Tortoise, which has spawned under the dormitory. Now this is kind of why I don't like Metis. The game kind of uses Metis as a way to convey what is happening to the player. There are many times throughout the DLC where Metis will just tell the group and the player to like what is going on, or an explanation of what this is, without really no reason for why she should know what is going on. On the surface, this isn't a bad thing until you get to the point where you find out what Metis actually is. It becomes clear that Metis is only here to explain stuff to the player, and I'm sorry Metis fans, but it's kind of a dumb thing to throw into this game. The Abyss of Time is made up of 8 doors, with Melbog, the first door, having 12 floors. Cacta is the second door, having 15 floors. Kaina is the third door, having 20 floors. Antanua, Tomia, Jubeka, having 25 floors. And the last door, Impuim, the last door, having 26 floors. A fun fact is that the first 6 floors of the Abyss of Time are named after sections of hell from Dante's Inferno, with Cacta being the 9th floor, Malborg being the second to last level, and Cana, Ator, and Tortamim, and Jubeka being sections of the 9th layer. As for European, it's the first sphere of heaven in Dante's Inferno. It becomes clear to the group that the only way to get out of the time loop is to traverse the Abyss of Time and find the source of it, which the group hopes will get rid of the time loop. So with a clear goal in mind, the group ventures into the first door, but before they enter, they see a strange silhouette gesturing them to follow. So this is kind of where the gameplay loop begins, and I don't have a problem with it as it's the same as Tartarus, but I did find these doors a little bit boring compared to Tartarus, since Lady Doors reuse the same areas throughout the DLC, which is fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with using assets, but it's kind of boring compared to exploring Tartarus, which as you went up in the levels, the environments changed and shifted, which I found to be kind of cool. I mean, nothing's really going to compare to Persona 5's dungeons, because they were just that cool and, you know, had different puzzles and stuff, but it is what it is. So after traversing the 12 floors, the gang enters the last door to find themselves in Palomino Mall sometime last semester. This hub kind of acts as a way to buy equipment and special potions and stuff. Then after traversing the next set of floors, the gang is shown a scene from Ken's past. After witnessing the scene that led to Ken on his quest for revenge against Shinjiro, we are rewarded with our first trophy, the vengeful one, and another explanation from Metis, who says we can only witness past events if not everyone was involved.
Well, Sergeant?
You can go. Just another one of them freak accidents. Hey, kid. Sorry I took so long. Says here your name's, Ken Amada. Is that right? Jeez. Sorry about what happened to your mom. Heard she gave her life to protect you from the wreckage. Anyway, I gotta take your statement, since you're a witness and all.
If I told you what happened, would you believe me?
Of course I would. Helping people out is our job.
My mom was murdered.
What?
Around midnight, when I got up to use the bathroom, I heard voices by the door. I looked and saw this teenager holding his head and yelling.
Hold on, you're saying he did it? But the whole house collapsed.
There was this shining, horse-like monster that came right out of him. It roared, and just like that, my mom and my house were...
Oh, a monster was it? Come on now, there's no way that actually happened. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's just...
I'm not lying!
Look, kid. It was all an accident, plain and simple. A drunk driver crashed his car into your house.
What? A car crash?
We've already found the car and what's left of the driver. Now all we need is an account of the accident.
It's a lie. You're just making that up.
Now, I know you might think so, but it's true.
Sergeant, can you come out here?
Yeah, be right there.
Wait, I really did see it!
Listen, I'm sorry for your loss, but I have to go. I hope things get better.
Liar. Adults can't be trusted. So I'll find him myself.
One thing I did like that I think they added from the original was that during your explanation of a bit of time, you can pick up items, and when you go back to the dorm, you can interact with your teammates, and you get to spend time doing the activity. I did like seeing and interacting with these characters. It was fun because I just cherish these characters a lot. After entering the third door, we see the silhouette again, and we follow it through the levels and get into the last door. We're awarded with another past scene, this time being Akihiko, and another trophy, the determined one.
Sonata-kun! Wait! Sonata-kun!
Hey, hold on a sec. You're the captain, aren't you?
Hey, quit pushing! Practice is over!
You there. Sonata-kun, right?
That's right.
That was an incredible bout. I've never seen a middle schooler deliver a KO like that. I'm with the school you're up against in the finals. What do you say to enrolling with us? We'll give you a real generous scholarship. You'd only have to pay half your tuition.
Wait, you're from another school? Poaching's against the rules, and you know it!
Sorry, but I don't see any reason to attend a school that places second. Good luck finding someone else.
Ah, Sonata-kun, you're so cool! You hear that? He'd never go to your loser school.
Seriously, will you all just go home already? We can't leave until you guys do, damn it!
Couldn't you have handled that with a little more tact? I heard it gets crowded after practice, so I decided to wait here instead. Third year, Class C. Akihiko Sonata-kun.
What do you want?
You're not going to ask who I am?
Why bother? Whatever it is you're here for, I'm not interested. All I want is to train and become stronger.
Oh, it's nothing troublesome. In fact, I have a rather simple request.
What request?
I have enemies that need defeating. Only thing is, they're not people. Meaning there's no need to play by the rules. Not like in the ring. No. These enemies. They're related to what you go through every midnight. You see, I'm in the same situation. I experience the same thing you do. The difference is I know what it means. So if you'll join me, I'll share what I know with you.
Who are you?
Mitsuru Kirijo. I'm a third year, like yourself.
Kirijo. Sounds familiar.
Earlier, you said you wanted to train and become stronger. But what you really need is a challenge. And with this, you'll be able to defeat them. The door vanished this time too.
I do want to point out how wild it is, as an American, that Michiru brings a gun-like object to school, or at least a school event. Imagine if this was in America, the FBI would be like this. She definitely would be taken to jail. We also get a conversation with Metis questioning why Aigis won't be going back to school next semester, which from a storytelling perspective is just a way for Aigis to question the choice. I know I'm not talking much about these doors, but there really isn't much to talk about. It's basically the same as going through Tartarus and finding the bosses at the end without much story progression until the end. After making our way through the fourth door, we are shown Junpei's and Koromaru's past, which is the events right before Junpei awoke to his persona during the Dark Hour, and are rewarded with the trophy named the Disillusioned One.
That dumbass. Seriously? Getting drunk on cooking wine? That's damn pathetic. Even for a deadbeat dad. But so am I guess. Running out like this every day. Man, what am I gonna do now? What's up, Pooch? You got nowhere better to be either? Sorry, bud. I don't got any food for you. You know, you look kind of familiar. Have I seen you around here before?
Yo, it's Junpei.
Huh? Oh, hey guys.
Aw, why the long face? You sad we're in different homerooms now?
Nah, only thing sad here is your IQ. Wait, ain't it way past your dorm's curfew? What are you guys doing out here?
Oh, you know, we snuck out. It's your second year. Anyway, we're heading to Escapade to celebrate my guy here finally striking out.
Whatever, I still have a shot.
Still in denial, huh? Come on, face it, man. Yukari Takeba is way out of your league in the first place. I never expected her to hook up with that new transfer student right off the bat, though. Guess she's into the dark and mysterious type.
I don't know. Seemed like a normal dude to me.
Nah, man, get this. That transfer kid? Rumor has it, both his parents died when he was younger. Someone got a peek at his file when Toriyumi left it lying around.
Man, you're so gullible. That stuff only happens in soap operas.
Hey, I did say it was just a rumor. Look, man, forget that. Let's get going. I know a guy who knows a guy who can grab us booze.
Booze? Sorry. I think I'm gonna pass.
What? Come on.
Dude, I already said no. I just ain't in the mood.
Well, looks like I'm the only one nursing your broken heart tonight.
Dude, I'm telling you, I still have a shot.
Just had to turn him down. Today is really not my day. Man. Wonder if I'll actually be happy with my life one day. I wish I could, like, change the world somehow. If only I could do something that no one else can do. Like, having some kind of special skill or power. give me that. I'm sure someday we'll be able to make real friends. Friends who actually understand us. Definitely not.
After the cutscene, we have another expository conversation with Metis, who says the doors are here to show us memories of great significance, and once shown, they disappear. Aigis brushes this off, and we continue exploring. At the bottom of the fifth door, we are shown Mitsuru's past, where she awakened to her persona by protecting her father, and are granted another trophy, the selfless one.
So this is Tartarus from the inside. This is only the second time anyone has come here without special equipment. Normal weaponry is useless against shadows. Anything you brought provides little more than peace of mind. Everyone here has had their potential developed in our labs. That alone should suffice for protection. Though, should you get devoured, that would provide us with valuable data as well. Is there anyone left in the Argo Division who isn't a psycho? In any case, sir, are you all right with this? I mean, with bringing your daughter here.
I don't mind at all. I myself requested to come along.
You heard her.
My apologies, sir. I overstepped. Hey, what's wrong? What the? It appears we need to conduct further research in artificially developing the potential. Both of you, stand back.
So that's a shadow.
You little... Sir! Miss!
Father!
Did you see that? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, such power. It's a persona. I was right. People can use them. Mitsuru!
Father, I'm glad you're safe.
Oh, that was wonderful, Miss Mitsuru. Of course, you would be the first one to awaken your potential naturally. With this, the future truly does seem bright.
Why the hell are you celebrating? Now Mitsuru will be condemned to a life of atonement. She'll spend her prime years bound to our vile legacy. And you call that bright?
Don't worry, Father. This is what I wanted. I will protect you.
Mitsuru.
That was Senpai's.
At the bottom of the sixth door, we are shown Yukari's past, where she was given a letter from her father, and we are granted with the trophy, the steadfast one.
Attention all students in the dormitory. The cafeteria will be closing in 30 minutes.
Oh, crap. Whatever.
Oh, there you are. We went to your room to look for you.
Oh, sorry. I don't think I'm going today. It'll be crowded anyway.
Wait, is that your stuff? Have you not even been to your room since we got back?
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
Really? So you've just been spacing out here for hours? Is something going on?
Oh no, I'm fine. It's nothing important. Just kinda hard to believe it's been, what, 4 years since I got here?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. It is kind of depressing. Like, why do we have to stay cooped up in a dorm for what should be the best 3 years of our lives? And our first year's almost done. High school will be over before we get to have any fun. Well, try not to let it bother you too much. We'll get through it.
Yeah. It'll all be over soon, huh? Stupid. Of course I wouldn't find out anything about Dad just by going to school. If even the police and the media haven't found anything new. 10 years already. Maybe I'd be better off giving up.
Excuse me, you're Takabe-san, yes? The first year?
Now, after getting to the bottom of the 7th door, we are shown not Aigis' past, but her dream, which is her chasing after the player character, but never being able to catch up, and the trophy, the one who dreamt Pops.
I am... Huh? You... Wait! Please, wait! No! Don't go! I promised to protect you. I dedicated my entire existence to it, but I can't fulfill my purpose now. There's nothing I can do anymore. Is there anything left for me to live for? Is there a meaning to any of it? If this is what it's like now, then I wish I could just be a simple machine again. So, that was...
After the scene, Aigis admits to the group that because of the protagonist's death, she wanted to get rid of humanity because of the pain of being able to face the reality that the protagonist is dead was too hard, which is a very somber scene because this is a thing that many people in real life face. It's hard to come to grips with the passing of a loved one. It might be one of the hardest things that someone will ever have to do, and I think the scene demonstrates that struggle so clearly that it touches the side of humanity that no other game that I've played has come close to. Well, after the little speech from Aigis, we get the reason that the Abyss of Time appeared, and that's because the group couldn't come to terms with the protagonist's death, and eventually, the silhouette figure appears. This silhouette figure is the manifestation of the group's grief over the passing of the protagonist, and their wish to see him again. Now, from this point, I have a big problem with the bosses going forward, and my problem with that is that the gameplay loop for Persona and Shin Megami Tensei as a whole is to find the weakness of the enemy and exploit that weakness. Well, for the rest of the DLC, all the bosses have no weaknesses whatsoever, when they should. For example, this silhouette figure switches between the party members' persona, so you think that when he switches, let's say, Yukari's persona, that he should be weak to whatever Yukari is weak to. Well, that's not the case, because this boss has no weaknesses whatsoever, which makes it just this fight and the rest of the DLC is such a slog to get through. After defeating the silhouette, Metis has another expository conversation, and the group is given pieces of a key, which put together can unlock the front doors, which sends them back to the future. Or they can use the key on the protagonist's room and be sent back before the fight with Nyx. The group is obviously split on this decision, and Yukari, wanting to go back and try to save the protagonist, says that the group will fight over the key pieces. And to be honest with y'all for a moment, Yukari gets a lot of hate for this monologue, but during this part, I honestly don't fault her for the way she's thinking. Just watch.
You seriously won't make a choice? The day we said our goodbyes, you were the only one who didn't show up. You got to hear his last words. And now you even have his power, but you still don't know how you feel about him? Listen, I know it hurts. Believe me. It hurts so much I can't stand it, but...
Yukari-san,
Forget it. Nothing I say will make a difference anyway. Metis, does everyone have to agree for the keys to combine?
Not necessarily. The keys themselves don't have opinions.
So in other words, it's possible to take them by force and combine them.
By force? Are you saying you want to fight?
I don't want to. But if we can't agree, we don't have a choice. We're running out of time. And talking hasn't gotten us anywhere.
you have a point. This matter concerns the life of a dear friend. I doubt any of us will be easily swayed. So in that case...
Wait, Kirijo-senpai?
I had already made my decision. I will stand with Yukari.
Senpai.
You're siding with Takeba. Are you sure? All right. I guess you've got your reasons. And I've got mine.
Well, I'm sticking with my sister. I'll protect her no matter what.
That makes sense, Metis. You know what's important to you. So you understand why I can't back down either, right?
Yes.
Everyone, wait! Don't do this! I made my feelings clear. Now you... know. Now everyone needs to recognize their own feelings. Think about who he was. And what he meant to us.
We'll need a proper venue for the battles. A place where the results will be absolute. I'll show you the way. Let me know when you're ready.
We're really going to fight each other?
So the scene is set and the group is set to fight each other. The first fight is with Akihiko and Ken, and like I said, the group doesn't have any weaknesses when I think they should. I mean, they have weaknesses when they're in my party, but they just magically get invulnerability when they're fighting me. It just doesn't make sense, and these fights take so much longer and more tedious. The second fight was with Junpei and Koromaru, which I still don't know what they wanted to do with the keys if they won. And the last fight is against Yukari and Mitsuru. After winning the fight, Yukari completely releases her grief. I think this is one of the best scenes in DLC. To completely understand where Kari is coming from, and that she was trying to be strong and keep moving forward, not wanting to confront her own grief, is a hollow scene, but her realization that she could have turned to her friends is a sweet one.
You really don't want to go back?
What? Hey!
I want him back. I want him back. I don't care about anything else. I just want him to come back. I tried so hard to be strong and to look forward and just accept it all, but I can't. I can't do it. I just can't.
Yukari-san.
That's not... I made him a promise, too. I told him I'd do my best to change this world. People would stop wishing for the fall. That's why I wanted to move on from the past. And just focus on the future.
Yukari-san.
But that was just a promise to myself. Not to him. So it can't end like that.
Yukari, it's hard. Unbearably hard. But if you don't face that pain, it will never heal.
So what? If I face it, it'll suddenly be okay? I'll just accept that he's gone? Or forget all about it? That won't happen! All of us should know by now. That never happens!
You face your pain because it'll never truly go away. Yukari, Would you help me fulfill the promise I made to him?
What?
It was more a promise to myself, like yours. He taught me so much, and showed me so many things that I've come to treasure. But before I could thank him, he was gone. The regret was suffocating. So,
with everyone agreeing on what to use the keys for now, they all want to know what happened to the protagonist at the end of the main game. So they go back to when the protagonist sealed Nyx via the final door in the Abyss of Time.
Everyone, look! Just as I thought. The purpose of his seal. It's not meant to hold back Nyx. It's to prevent something from reaching her.
what do you mean?
That giant monster. It's not a shadow. It's a mass of the worst traits and feelings from every person's heart. Deep down, everyone is calling for Nyx.
That can't be.
There was a time when I also wished for death. It's probably true that everyone has a part of them secretly yearning for it. The only thing that separates the living from the non-living is death, the greatest equalizer.
I think I understand. When you feel like your life has no meaning, the thought of death can be comforting. And that subconscious desire is so strong, it could even create a monster like this. I guess that's just how it is these days.
The gang eventually realizes that the protagonist used his life essence to conjure the Great Seal. However, he didn't do it to seal Nyx away, but to keep Erebus, the manifestation of humanity's grief, from contacting Nyx to bring forth the fall. Erebus, becoming aware of the group's presence, and the final fight begins. After defeating Erebus, the group's grief and confusion is lifted, and Metis is revealed to be the human side of Aegis, which makes zero sense on how she would know all the things throughout the DLC, but that's despite the point. And the Abyss of Time disappears, and time begins again, and we are gifted a final cutscene and our final trophy, Together into Tomorrow.
It's weirdly kinda sad to leave, huh?
Yes, but change is part of life.
Hey, so if you're gonna live in the dorms next year, do you wanna be roommates?
Huh?
I imagine you still need one. And also, it just makes sense, you know? Because we're friends, aren't we?
Yeah, let's do it!
With that, it brings us to the end of the video. I love Persona 3 of course, and with this DLC I feel like there's a few things they could have done better, but overall this is one of my favorite games, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please, if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.